Hi, and thank you for joining me today. It's Jez here from nigezza.co.uk, and you remember that I showed you this box with the 4 cards in it, made from our little narrow notelets, and I made that with the Dashing Along DSP that's free, which is kind of a Christmas DSP, and I just wanted to show you how it didn't necessarily need to be Christmas. And I made another set of cards, but with a masculine feel, like so. So if you didn't see that video, then link back and find it. I might link it below. Okay, so this is from is the opposite side of the DSP to that one. And so now I'm going to show you how I made the box. And I thought these would make a really nice present for someone, or to go on a craft fair. Okay, so this is what you need for your box. Okay, I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. So we have, I'm going to do this with a garden green lid and a cherry cobbler base. This one, I just did it solely cherry cobbler because that's the cherry cobbler, and whisper white was what was in the paper. But this paper has got it all, so I thought it would look quite nice like this. So your base is 6 15/16 by 4 15/16, and the lid is 4.5 by 6.5, and the lid is scored at 3/4 on all 4 sides. And it's important to turn it and do your 3/4 like this, otherwise your lid won't fit properly. And the base is going to be 1 inch on all 4 sides to give us that depth of 1 inch. There we go. So that's all the scoring done. So then we just need to fold and burnish all these sides. So it doesn't actually take very long to make the cards. And it doesn't take very long to make the box. And that's what you want if you're doing craft fairs. You want something that's quick and easy, that looks lovely when it's done, and it doesn't take much time, because you don't want to be spending lots of time, because time is money, and we do craft fairs, 1, because we enjoy them, and 2, to make a little bit of extra money at Christmas, because we always need a little bit of extra money at Christmas. And it is important when pricing your things for a craft fair to consider the time involved in making it. You shouldn't just be thinking about the materials and covering costs. You want to pay your own time as well, because you've got to pay for overheads, for insurance, for hiring the, your plot. So you want to make sure you've considered all those things. So just like with boxes, I'm just cutting down and notching out. I'm going to stick the layers on before I go any further. So we're going to mat the lid in Whisper White so that it kind of looks a little bit like the cards. So for this top mat, it is 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. I'm only giving it a little bit of a margin because it's quite small. So I'm going to use Tombow so I've got a bit of wigglage. I just think it's easier to stick these panels on before we put it together. And then for our edges, these are 5/8 of an inch. The long ones are 4 7/8 and the short ones are 2 7/8. Not used much garden green before, but it's quite a nice colour for Christmas. We have that many greens now to choose from that there must be everybody's favourite green. Must be able to find a green that you like. I use Old Olive a lot. I love Mossy Meadow. And I love the Tranquil Tide. Call Me Clover, I think is quite a classic Christmas green, a bit like our Emerald Envy last year that I really liked. I still have some of that. What I do for craft fairs is I use a lot of my retired stuff, so I shall probably make another one of these. I've managed to, oh dear, get a bit of a gluey finger on that, not to worry. There we are, all gone. And I've cut a piece of DSP to go on there in the same paper as I've done the cards, and that is 2 inches by 4 3/4, and that is me having used a half a sheet. So by 1/2 sheet of DSP I have made the 2 boxes and the 8 cards, so that's quite a good use of your DSP as well. And then just the odd bits of cardstock. There we go, and then just put glue on these flaps. And I've just realised I've stuck that up without putting the stamping on. Don't matter. And then the base is very simple. We're not decorating the base, so we'll just glue it together and the cards all fit in there. So this one's going to be less fussy because it's a masculine version, so I'm not doing any stamping around the edges like I did on the other one, otherwise I'd have stamped it first. So on this one you'll notice that I've used a little trio of daisies to round there, but I'm not going to on this one because it is, as I say, a masculine version. There we go, and then that fits on. Does fit on. I just hadn't stuck that down properly. So that fits nicely on there, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to use the same sentiment, which was from the heart, from Petal Palette, and I've got a little bit of Scrapple Whisper White to stamp on, and I'm going to continue with what I've done on the inside and do my stamping in the Garden Green. There we go, and then I just take the label punch and it just fits in. Not that I give myself much to hold on to. Right, when you haven't got much to hold on to, you take your little scraps that you've got, that you've cut off, put a bit of snail, rub a bit of it off on your finger, stick it on there, so you've now got a long arm. There we go. And that should peel off a little bit there. So from the heart, so I'm going to layer that up with some Garden Green and some Cherry Cobbler. So cut one out Garden Green and one out of the Cherry Cobbler, and decide which way they're going to be layered. Then that gets a bit lost. I'm going to do a white one as well. So some scraps of Whisper White. Can I get one out of that scrap? No. Yes. And then I might do a white at the end, like that. Yep, I like that. So we're going to cut each of these in half. If I could find my snips. And then actually, whilst the snail's there, I might use the snail so I'm just sticking that down. I want to have the same overlap at each end. Do have a little bit of room for manoeuvring with snail, and then Garden Green the same. And then finally some Whisper White. and then you can either stick that above, stick it below. I'm going to stick it there. I'm going to get some dimensionals, which I did have. And now I don't. I'm going to use one of these long bits. So I'm just going to take that long piece there, put it all the way along. Perfect. Stick that along there. So we have got 4 cards and 4 envelopes. I did decorate the envelopes in the other one, but I am not going to in this one. I actually am going to change over. I'd made that one slightly the wrong size. The lid was slightly too big and that one's slightly too small, so I think I have now done this so that they will fit lovely. Perfect. So there we have it. That's the 2 versions, male and female, made with the lovely Dashing Along DSP, free with £200 order. Treat yourself for Christmas. Club together with a mate and get this lovely DSP. And as you can see, it is not just for Christmas, but you can use it all year round on other projects as well. Hope you like that. All the details will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk. Click back and have a look if you haven't already seen the video where I made these cards. And yeah, why not have a go? Great for presents, great for craft shows. Okay, see you again soon. Bye bye.